of live stuff. You know, the first hour is like guitar related, and the second, I don't know if it's a full 2 hours or not, but the second half, the second phase of his live stream is like pens and knives and guns and cars and motorbikes.
I think it's a lot like getting a train started.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Once you get the train started, just keeps rolling.
Just keep on rolling.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Marathon, 8-hour live video.
Just keep
Dylan
going.
should do it.
I think
he did a live thing. I know he did a live thing on New Year's.
I wonder, did he go for hours and hours and hours?
No, he didn't, but I thought he might.
Maybe we should do a thing where we go for like 24-hour live stream, and all the super chats go to some charity, and that would be. And you know what would happen though with us? Our feed would get interrupted.
It would, but we could restart it. 24 hours. It's just Matt and Chris talking, and we'll play the same song over and over. And that song will be "Good Golly, Miss Molly" by Little Richard.
Not Louie Louie or
no.
Okay, but not Louie Louie by the guy.
Kingsman?
Yeah, the Black Flag version.
Okay.
Hey everybody, it's the first video of the year. Thanks for hanging out with us. And Chris, how are you, man?
I'm fine.
On this Monday, Thursday.
I don't know why it feels like a Monday, because I worked every day this week.
Yeah, you were here yesterday.
I was here yesterday. And
obviously
I was here
today,
Tuesday. And I was here Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm here today.
Why were you here all those days?
Because there's lots to do.
Okay.
And weather wasn't great. Didn't really have anything else to do. I thought, well, I'll go in and I'll do some work. And yeah, it was totally fine and totally good. And I'm glad the holidays are over.
I am happy to be at work today, and I have kind of a new lease on work life. Hey, I know Loring Court is here. Loring sent me a really neat thing on like Instagram Messenger. I don't know if it was like just the other day or if it was probably several weeks ago. And I rarely look at that stuff, but Loring sent me a really neat thing. And it was the difference between expensive and costly. And Loring, thank you for sending that to me. Paul Hall says that he just paid his final installment on his 2025 semi-hollow workshop. We are going to have something really neat to show you guys because we have a prototype. We can't show you tonight because the paint's still wet on it. The paint's still drying, right? But can you tell them what it is, Chris? And
it's the prototype for the build a, what do we call it?
Semi-hollow, I think.
Yeah.
So everyone will start with what is effectively our icon shape. But you'll be able to do a cutaway on it.
Yes, we have designed it. We have engineered it so that you can design and cut your own cutaway without having to do anything else to it.
That's right. And it's
pretty neat.
The construction is very similar to our American Icon model. And so if you want to do like no cutaway, fine. If you want to do a cutaway, cool. The one that we're going to show you has kind of a rounded cutaway, but people always ask, could you do a Florentine?
There will be at least one of those.
Who's going to do someone said they were going to do that.
I don't know, but lots of people have said, well, could I do this? Absolutely.
I hope they do.
If you can draw it, you can do it.
Yep.
Joe, I'm also hoping somebody just sort of lops off the whole horn section in a classy way. That would be cool. I got some ideas. And does something like that.
Doug Santaniello, Joey Dano guitar, says, Martha, my wife, loves Louie. That I think that the one where it's like high pitched, you know what I mean? So yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. The female singer. Yeah.
Dylan is here. Doc is here. Dan is here. Eric is here. Loring is here. 3J Music says the wall is looking pretty bare. You know why that is, my friend?
Because we shipped them all out.
That's right. Every guitar. Doug, the bass version of the neck through BC Rich bitch. We're still waiting for a case for that, but everything else is ready to go. And you got clear on his.
I got clear on Anthony's guitar.
Yes.
And
I like the headstock logo you came up with. That looks
good.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it looks okay. And yeah, I'll be working on that one, and I'll be working on the Stevie Twins.
Oh, that's right. So, gang, we are, like I said, this is the first video of the year, and there's so much happening this year, so much potentially good stuff going down, but there's a lot of stuff that's still the same too. So, like, for example, this year, all of our live streams will continue to be ad-free. So let's take a break and have a word from our sponsor. Wait, there is no sponsor. It's you guys. If you guys want to join Patreon, or if you want to join us on YouTube, or if you want to send us a super chat, all of that stuff is how we fund these videos, just like Doug Santaniello just did. And yes, so that is going to be so that's going to stay the same. Loring wants to know about a certain ornamentological. I think he's talking about the guitar that I'm still working on, and that, Loring, I think that would be a really good thing to do. I'm still working on how to do that, and I want to touch it. Let's put a pin in that for just a moment. Because I'll take a super chat from Paul, who says ad-free is for me. Thank you so much, Paul. Chris, today I was working on a new video series that is Patreon exclusive.
Okay.
And it is the neck through workshop.
Okay.
That is going to be all Patreon. So one of the reasons that I wanted to do neck through, well, there's a handful, but chief among them was we don't offer like a make whatever neck through you want workshop anymore.
Correct.
We do.
Why is that?
Well, okay, because we offer the neck through SG style body workshop. That's something I'm very excited about. Joey Dano sent us another super chat and said, I think there's a purple monster in the works also. Oh, yes, sir, there is. And
there is.
Yeah. But I like neck throughs, but the first time that we did the neck through, it kind of got away from us. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to do. And what happened was if your name is Doug, Dave, Don, or Sean, you will remember that workshop. And Sean did a fairly he did a maple neck with mahogany wings, and there wasn't anything, over the top
flat
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no neck angle, and there was no.
There
was a bunch of not tricky stuff to do.
The rest of the guys decided that neck through guitars were also exact reproductions of 1963 Fender Firebirds, and it everybody got done, but it was a boatload of work. And I think what I probably need to do is kind of channel that into something specific, or like the SG workshop that we're going to be doing, or, and I'm totally on board with this too, an online version of that class that you guys can do at your own shops and kind of go along with us. Bob Potter says to ad free in 25 with a status update offline, please.
Hey, guess what I painted today?
Would you
Bob?
like to do it
How about
online?
an online status? Yeah. Your guitar got painted finally today. I finally got blue dye, so there is a blueberry.
It's in the paint booth. It looks good. Mm-hmm. I like it a lot.
It does.
Yep. And I'm not a huge fan of blue guitars.
Yeah, it will march on very, very soon.
Bob, what pickups are we putting in that instrument, by the way? Do you know?
Is covered Dylan DAFs.
Okay, cool.
I looked at the invoice today.
Okay.
I looked at the old emails to make sure that I was painting it the right color. I wanted to see the blue burst that he sent me a picture of. So you're going to dig it.
Yep. Don says, Firebird is still my favorite build. that course that he did. It's such an amazing guitar. It is, Don, and you guys did a lot of really great work on those. If we had an extra day or two, that'd have been a lot cooler thing.
That was a 2-week class.
Yeah. Yeah. Victor Beebe says aloha from I'm guessing Hawaii, and then I'm not going to butcher this, but it looks like some Hawaiian words, and Happy New Year is what he says. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, guys. But so I've been working on this. Thank you guys for all the super chats too. It means a lot to me. I've been working on this new neck through thing, and I think that there's gonna be this first one, because I said I would, will be available to everyone who's a member on YouTube and everyone who's a member on Patreon. So if you spend $1 a month, you can watch all these videos. Okay, I'm gonna try to do a bunch of them. I've got 2 that I want to have done. And before we leave for California, I want to have a live stream. So what I want to do is I want to do 2 of these videos, release 2 videos, and then I want to do a live stream Q&A. The guys can, like write down, hey, why didn't you orient the piece this way? Or, hey, how come you did this? Or what angle was this, that, or the other? And that will be something that is a lot like this, only you have to get an invitation thing. And if you're a member on Patreon or a member on YouTube, you'll get an invitation to join that video. And that would be a cool thing that you can do. What do you think of that, Chris?
Good idea.
I'm thinking like I'll release these videos on Saturdays, and then do a Q&A on Saturday as well.
Cool.
So, okay. Joey Dano sent us another super chat and says Dawgs was so close to authentic Gibson that if he had a 14 degree, it would be a true clone. You know what? You're absolutely right, Doug, because Doc was like, I mean, it was like dead on.
Yeah, they were really cool.
Okay. So, what do you want to talk about, Chris, before we get too deep in the weeds here? Let's talk about that show we're
Oh,
doing.
well, yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Woodwires and Volts show for a red hot minute.
That is a terrific idea. I'm
Thanks.
glad you decided to talk about that.
It just came to me all of a sudden.
So, Chris, you and I and Jim Jimmy and Dylan, we will all be in Anaheim, California later this month.
Yep.
For the Woodwire and Volts Not Trade Show. What is it exactly?
I think I might have seen the word boutique on the website.
I think I did too.
Boutique Builder Showcase. I hate that word.
But I think you touched on something. You know, that guy Jamie Gale, who he's been doing this thing at the NAMM show. That's the Boutique Guitar Builder Expo part of the NAMM show.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys who we've seen do that are going to be at this show, at the Woodwire and Volt show, which is the same week as the NAMM show.
Yep.
Like 3 miles away from the
Thursday
NAMM
and
show.
Friday. Yeah.
And it's open to the public.
It is.
So we're lucky. It was an invitation only thing. And we were lucky enough to get an invitation to do this, which I think is really cool. Let's take a super chat from our good buddy Brian Duncan, who says, late to the party, but I brought the tequila, ad-free rocks. God bless you, Brian. I think
we got your text, Brian, and we're thinking of menial tasks for you to do.
I actually said maybe Brian and I could go get Dave's Hot Chicken, and you said you don't really want to eat Dave's Hot Chicken.
Not right this second.
You're kind of not
I'm trying to be a very, very good boy,
not
man.
digging on the fried food.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's really nothing there that's good for you. You can't even like try to convince yourself. Maybe the kale slaw might be good. Water, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, in the overall scheme of things, I don't think a little Dave's chicken would kill me, but
it's
I've been awfully bad for a while, man.
Okay.
And I need to atone for that.
Good for you.
As I drink beer.
Well, okay. Anyway.
It's light beer.
It is light beer. So the Woodwire and Volt show, the same week as the NAMM show. And I think it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to this because the guys who are doing it, Curtis Novak from Curtis Novak Pickups, and Carlos Lopez from Castadosa Guitars. They're not museum curators and art journal periodical editors. They're guitar guys.
They're in the trenches, baby.
Well, they kind of are. Yeah. I mean, okay, they're probably not in the trenches, but
they've been in the trenches.
Yeah, they've been there. Yeah.
They've crawled their way out of the trench.
They're trench adjacent, and they can see what, guys like you and I are up to. Mm-hmm. Maybe they see it a lot, actually. Maybe they look closer than we think they do.
Yeah.
And they sent us an invitation, which Jamie Gale never sent us. Never once did we get any sort of I mean, even before I went on YouTube and said, that I don't like him, we never got anything from him that was like, it was like we were, second class citizens.
I think we're off the radar. I think we are almost too rock and roll for that.
There was a time when maybe we were.
So yeah.
Well,
yeah. It's a fun thing to go and look at the guitars there, and it's fun to hang out in the boutique builders showcase. We met lots of really cool people, and we saw lots of really cool stuff. And then we talked to Jamie.
Yeah. And then we got turned off right away.
Yeah.
Mike, hold on, wait. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and then compared notes with our friend Brian Nutter, and we all agreed, yeah, we don't like him.
Yeah. Hat Mike, aka
HB Mike,
Huntington Beach Mike, a very good buddy of ours, says that he's going to be would like to have us get together for a round of beers or something. Well, Mike, I think we should do that. But you know what I also want to do, maybe in addition to that, is have another meet and greet.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about that. Guys, if you're going to be in the California area, or if you live in California, let's do a meet and greet on like Thursday night, the 22nd or 23rd.
That's the 23rd.
Okay.
Wednesday is the 22nd. That's when we fly in.
Okay.
We should do it that night.
Well, we could
maybe.
So, okay, let's shoot. Okay, we can't do it the Friday.
No.
Because there's a bunch of stuff happening then. Although we could.
There's a thing going on Thursday too.
Okay. Well.
But we might. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay. So either Wednesday night or Thursday night, the 22nd, 23rd, let's talk a little bit about like getting together and having like, if you guys want to meet up and get some beers or get some, some Dave's Hot Chicken, something like that, we can.
By then I'll be good.
Yeah, we can do that. That sounds like a good time. I would love to do that. Yeah. And Mike didn't say we could do that at his house, but he didn't not say that. So
hey, let's do it at the Clarion right there at the
best.
The Jamm show.
Okay.
The secret bar that's probably not there anymore.
Okay, I got to tell you, I know you say this a lot. They actually really did have a really good double meat burger.
Yeah,
anyway.
They did. Yeah, okay. You're not wrong. That was hilarious. There's a bar in back.
Yeah.
This place is awesome.
Bob Potter. Casino Guitars is a great shop. Nice, quaint setup in a quaint little town. Bob, do you know those guys? Because I want to meet those guys when we're in Anaheim. They are Castadosa dealers, and it is possible that they're going to be at the NAMM show, and it is possible that they would say, "Hey, let's go see Carlos over at the Woodwire
and Bolts show."
Yep. Yeah. So the guy, what is it? The guy's name who runs the shop. He did a video where it's just him and Carlos hanging out in the pool. So I mean, they're buds, probably.
Yeah. Probably.
So yeah, I would like to meet those guys, and I think that would be fun. Jay says lots of guitars are missing on the back wall. Guess the sale did okay. Yeah,
we sold everything that we put on sale.
Yeah, we absolutely that day we have no problem selling guitars and for $1,000. Dylan says he knows Baxter and John very well. Okay, Dylan.
There you go.
Dylan, I think that you and I will probably be talking on the phone every single day until that show. I hope that you're okay with that. I can make an appointment to do that with you if you want, but there's so much stuff going on that Dylan and Chris and I have going all at once. Guys, there's some really neat stuff. If you're on Dylan's Patreon page, he's probably alluded to some of what's happening, and I'm really excited about it. I can't show you anything yet.
That's why I was here all week.
Yeah.
Hint.
I can't show you. Chris can't show you. because Dylan's going to do all the showing, and
I can, however, I can, however, do helping hands and tell you about it.
Okay. Mike says that's not out of the question, but needs clearance from the wife. How about we don't?
Let's not do that.
Yeah. How about we don't do it at Mike's house?
Yeah.
And we'll
at least to start, maybe after
party at Hat Mike's.
At Mike's.
Yeah.
That's never ended poorly.
That's never.
Hey, let's go to Mike's.
That's never ended.
I don't know. I'm just, yeah.
Okay. Shark Air says the Doll Hut is in the neighborhood. Chris, you and I have played the Doll Hut once.
We have. This place is slightly classier than the Doll Hut.
Yeah.
The Colony House is slightly classier than the Doll Hut, but the Doll Hut is an absolute blast.
I had so much fun playing the Doll Hut. That was a great night. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised it's still there.
Yeah.
Dylan
says a box of top secret goodies for said top secret project has shipped today. Doug Santaniello says, I'm hoping that my name is on one of these surprises. Oh, Doug, let me assure you. Yeah, that's right. Jose says that his wallet is already trembling and that he feels like the Pawn Star guys. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really nervous. Sir, you should be. These are really, really cool. And Dylan is going to, it is my understanding that Dylan is going to debut these things on his show, his website.
We need to let him have first crack
at
it.
After which we will put some stuff on our website, and after which we will be doing this show in Anaheim at the Wood, and we're going to have all these things there, and they're going to be really, really excellent.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
lots of big ideas in all of this.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, we're going to make some guitars. Hey, we're going to take guitars to the show. Yeah. Hey, they've got Dylan pickups in them.
Oh, don't say what. Oh, I guess
we do that all the time.
That's
nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Surrounding all of this, and some big ideas, at least to my small brain, big ideas.
I think this segues nicely into something that I heard Mike Learn say the other day, and I heard third hand or second hand. Mike said, "I think Matt's running out of ideas for videos," and Mike, you're probably right. I'm kind of running out of stuff.
That's nothing new. You've been talking about that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of out of ideas. I think I've covered everything.
I think that what I want to do is I want to kind of go back. We've got a lot of new people. I'd like to go back and revisit some of those old videos and curate some of those and make some. And I think you had a great idea. Yeah.
Start from the beginning and just remake those videos because quality probably wasn't red hot. Processes have changed, stuff like that.
So I think I'd like to start doing some of that stuff because frankly, once you guys see how I drill holes in the headstock, do I need to make, multiple videos about that?
Yes.
But we could make more videos. And I think I would also like to do more in-depth videos for Patreon and YouTube members.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For people who just like watching guys build guitars, I'm still going to do that, But for people who go, hey, I have my own bandsaw now, and I wanna do, or I have my own. Okay, there's a lot of people who I have my own pin router now. There was a time when nobody had a pin router, and now they do. So, anyway, Brian says that in this light, Matt's hat matches his shirt. Stunning. Thank you, Brian. I think it's a look that I'm going for, Jose says, what material would look cool on transparent gold to get like the crackling paint effect, but with the wood grain? That's a good question for you, Chris, but I think I might, I think that what he means is like gold, metallic gold from like, say, a gold top, but where you can still see the grain.
Okay. We have a guitar coming up that has something similar to that on it.
Do we?
Uh-huh. Zoltan's.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
He wanted a transparent gold.
Mm-hmm.
And so Zoltan currently lives in Belgium, Brussels. But his English is better than mine.
Yeah.
But I wasn't quite sure.
He talks gooder than you.
He does talk gooder than me. Yeah. And so I sent him a note and I said, do you mean gold like metallic gold?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you mean gold as in like yellow,
because
amber?
what I thought he meant was just amber.
Just amber. Yeah. No. And he said, no, gold, metallic gold, kind of thinned out, reduced, whatever. But yeah, depending on the light,
because he's got like a flame top and
it's got some figure and it's got some stuff. And depending on how you hold it, it's either, oh, that's a gold guitar, or oh, that's a see-through gold. Yeah.
So maybe when we do that one, so do you have like, what's the 30-second version of for Jose of like it's just metallic paint, right?
Yeah, it's just metallic paint, and I mixed it with some inner coat clear.
So the trick is to not spray too much.
Yeah, and luckily golds usually don't cover very well anyway. But
okay.
But then the trick is to get it even.
That is it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to do it.
I reduced it with some inner coat clear, so it was like a 50-50 kind of gold thing. I hope that helps.
Bob, 1925 silent films. That's funny. Our good buddy Joseph Caswell says multiple sanding videos. I don't know what, maybe, but he said he does LOL. No one wants to watch that.
Yeah. Today we sand. 30 minutes of that sound.
JD says, hey guys, just keeping up for the new year. Happy New Year's, incredible individual. Thank you so much, JD. I have been working a little bit on the lap steel that and I think I'm ready. I know that Jim told you I got some practice wood, and I think I'm ready to solo on the walnut that you wanted. But yeah, that Karen wanted. Yeah.
You think you're ready for game time?
I'm ready for game time. That's right. Brian Duncan says an exceedingly long and boring video on how to tune your guitar. That would be good.
Ooh, that would be really great. Yeah. But not really do it.
Dan says that you look like you could use a steak, tequila, beer at the Chair restaurant. Is that like a
Chair restaurant? Who said that?
Dan and Dan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that like at a restaurant with chairs, not like a drive-through?
That's the Mexican place with chairs.
Yeah.
The one night that we went, they had a tequila, they had a margarita special, and a beer special, and he got a steak. And there was no reason to not get the margarita and the beer.
Yeah, you'd be foolish.
Really. Yeah, I'd like. I can't decide. Get both. They were $3 each.
Duh.
So yeah. So double fisting drinks and eating a steak.
Lefty says lap steels are cool. Going to need a short on that. Well, and Lefty, you will get that because we have two people who actually play them, who will probably be willing to do a quick little video on what it sounds like. I think that if you go to our artist page on the website, there will be you can see JD and you can check out his band. There's links to his band's Facebook page and stuff like that. We're also going to need to work on our dealer page, Chris. And we've got our first dealer. Some of you guys know who our first dealer is. One of you is our first dealer.
Oh, guitar dealer.
Guitar dealer. That's right. You will be able to buy guitars.
Different than the dealer I was thinking of.
That's right. And I want to allude to this a little bit. I'm not going to spill the beans, but there will be some instruments that you will only be able to get from this dealer.
That's the whole idea of this is, you have to go through them to get the guitar.
And there's lots and lots of little things that you can't get unless you go and get that guitar. Right. So, yeah. So our dealer page is going to be updated, new for 2025. Well, for the first time ever, we're going to have one. And I'm looking forward to that. And, you know, I know that I told you guys that I wanted to, I kind of flip-flop and I vacillate between maybe we should just be direct. Maybe we should blah, blah, blah. But the simple fact of the matter is that I need to have salespeople who who are invested in the product and that actually make money when the guitars sell. Chris and I can't do it from our insulated community here in Westminster, Colorado.
Correct.
And the whole idea of, well, let's drive all over Hell's Half Acre to like Chicago and Austin and New York and Nashville and North Carolina and Los Angeles and Phoenix. It's impossible for us to do all that stuff because all these things, the guitars have to still get made and the classes still have to get taught and the videos have to still get done. So one of the things that I'm looking forward to on the Woodwire and Volt show is potentially meeting some of these guys who
hopefully
want to become dealers.
That's kind of the idea of these shows, at least it used to be, is one central location, that everybody can come and see all the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and we are in the good stuff section.
Yeah. Okay, that's the problem.
The good stuff show.
That's the problem with the NAMM show, isn't it?
And I think a lot of the guys that are at this have probably struggled with that concept as much as we have.
I think you're right.
Where unless they're in the boutique instrument area, they get lost in the basement.
Yeah, it's easy to be awash in a sea of.
I know at least one company that's going to be at the Woodwires and Volts that I've seen at.
It's the
boutique Frank Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys were cool.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have your
cool satin jackets?
Yeah, but we have members only.
Yeah, we're gonna
jackets.
have to remember those. Yeah. But you know, it's one thing to be at the world's biggest guitar show.
Yeah.
And nobody knows you're there.
And nobody
can find you. Yeah, and you stand there by yourself all day. It's another thing to be at a slightly smaller thing where like-minded people come and seek you out and talk to you.
How do you feel about the outlaw nature of the Woodwire and Volt show?
You know, I've seen stuff similar to this in other industries, and I'm totally fine with it. If NAMM was at all concerned, they would figure out a way to put smaller people in with bigger people.
Yeah.
Or mix it up some, and they don't really seem to care. So
yeah. Doug just said that he got that white Explorer all sorted out today.
Cool.
So,
the nut and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
JD says he thinks he might have a couple of custom orders coming our way from guys that he knows that. So that's cool. And so that's another thing. So we want to have our artist network. So like JD is going back down to Nashville, and he's going to play our stuff and he's going to let people know what's going on.
Yep.
And of course we got Jim and we got Jeff, a bunch of guys who you guys have know about and seen. And I think it's going to be cool. I think expanding our artist roster a little bit, letting you guys know who they are, expanding our dealer network. Now, and what we have finally figured out is a way to have a dealer model, a couple of dealer models, and a couple of direct models.
Without impeding on each other's
That's right.
stuff.
So there will be no need for us to try and get dealers to sell our level ones.
Yeah.
First of all, there's not enough meat on the bone.
No.
There. In order for dealers to sell,
they don't want to buy that stuff from the big manufacturers they have. Why would they want to buy it from us?
That's what we came up with.
They don't need a $1,500 guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but don't worry, fear not. You'll still be able to get level ones from us.
Yeah.
You'll still be able to get level twos from us.
Yeah.
But our dealer exclusives will be dealer exclusives.
And the cool thing about it, and I think these are the big ideas from my small brain.
You came up with a lot of really great ideas.
Well, by the way. I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, let's not give away.
And really, it's industry inside stuff. You guys don't need to know about it.
Come on, Chris.
We'll talk about it more later.
Okay.
But the idea is that, it's not just dealer maker relationships, it's sort of a symbiotic kind of a thing, you know, and they tell us what they want.
Yep.
And we give it to them and they sell it.
And the best part is, can you talk about what they also get to do? Or should
I'd rather not.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right.
They get to pick the color.
They do get to pick the color. Anyway, but JD, thank you so much for helping us out. Well, one of the things that like I'm going to attempt to do this year is I'm going to stop trying to work harder in an attempt to sell more stuff for less money.
You're going to attempt to not build as many things and attempt to sell more for less.
Yeah. Because what happens is we do these prototypes and then they don't. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. All of our prototypes, I think, are going to be things that we just blow out. I'm not going to try and sell prototypes for $5,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna do prototyping and we're gonna make them into guitars, but they have to become something, either like a class or a guitar or a model or something like that. And and let's take another super chat from Brian Duncan, who says, just an FYI, I played class built PRS and the TTG Les Paul at my last 2 gigs. They both performed superbly. That's super cool, Brian. Very excellent.
Good.
High volume would probably have to be made in a lower price country, says Ray. And you're right, Ray. It probably would.
Even,
yeah. And Jose says that you sound a little bit like an Obama video. No, yes, maybe, kind of, not really. It's classified. I don't really know what that means, but yeah. So let's get back to this whole notion of the outlaw aspect of the Woodwire and Volt show.
Okay.
Which is something that those guys have not really played up on. You know what I mean?
No.
But it's the first time I heard about something like this was, I think it was Greg Tobias from Tobias Bases in the 80s or 70s or whenever he did it. He said, you know, if I'm going to be staying at the hotel that's right next to the convention center and I have to, and I'm going to be there anyway, why do I have to pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a booth space? I'm just going to go to the show and hand out little leaflets of things that people, hey, come back to my hotel room and we're going to have beer and
basically
we're going to have invitation only. Yeah. And I'm going to have all my stuff there at the show. You can check it all out. And there's going to be, it's going to be a party and it's not going to cost him or like maybe he rented 2 rooms or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
And
and you got to know, as a smaller builder, you don't need everybody to see your stuff. You need the right people to see your stuff. And unfortunately, at a big thing like NAMM, it's sort of a shot in the dark if those right people are going to come around and see you or find you.
Now, this is not a chill out Diddy hotel party, is it? This, according to Jose, he wants to know.
hand out invitations to see your cool stuff.
Joe says that talking about something about sticky candy canes and dirty pictures and pockets full of change and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, but this is sort of like that in that it's the same weekend or the same week as the NAMM show, and guys like Curtis Novak probably had a booth there. We know that the Frank Brothers guys did. We know that Castadosa Guitars would be likely to have a booth there, but rather than do that, they said, let's just start our own thing that's not very far away. And they've got enough juice. If you and I went out to California and said, hey, we're having a big guitar show, we don't have the juice to pull that off right yet.
This is actually very similar to something that you and I talked about doing with NAMM, which was getting a bunch of people that we know and running one halfway decent booth space in an area that somebody might see us and split the space.
That we have talked about
like a co-op. This is just a bigger version of that.
And we could probably do that. We could do like, get Dylan and you and me and Nutter and Mike Byrne and some of those other guys.
It would have to be a bunch of people though, probably 8 or 9.
Get Creepy Fingers effects to do
to get a halfway decent booth space that somebody might be able to see us at. Yeah.
Because
really, that basement thing,
It's a bummer.
Yeah, the fact that you don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
So you spend half the day at the NAMM show.
Uh-huh.
Where's everybody else? There's a basement.
Oh, there is? Yeah. Sean says, having been to SEMA a bunch of times, I can assure you that the deals are made at the after parties. Yeah. Man. I think we're talking about like getting to maybe talk with some of these dealers that we want to definitely show them what we can do. But the fact of the matter is, Sean, that if we could talk to, say, the guys at Wildwood Guitars who are 20 minutes from here, but they don't know we exist.
Right.
If we could see them at one of these after party things and be like, hey, did you see, something? I think you're 100% right. And you don't have to care what I think. You already know because you've been there and you've done that. So.
Sometimes too, I think these, me personally, I like to do business with people I like.
Yeah.
People that I want to hang out with, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And so much of these shows is so impersonal that a slightly more personal experience goes a really long way.
One of the things that we learned from Pete's show is that a lot of people weren't really interested in us. They just wanted to come up and ask us what part of Texas we're from. So like, JD and Kathy were like, they bought guitars from us.
Yeah.
They liked what we did. And so it was totally worth it because we got to meet them.
Yeah. Yeah. But, it's something that I think you and I tried to bring to that show was a little more of the personal experience. Hey, you want a beer?
Yeah, that's right. We did. Yeah.
And sometimes, yeah, okay.
Yep.
They'd hang out and talk to us a little bit and hopefully go off and go, those guys were cool.
Now, guys, I got to tell you,
are,
bunch of drunks. I got to tell you, since Jimmy's going to be basically Mr. Hospitality at this thing.
Yeah.
I don't mean like happy cigarette hospitality, but like he's Jim. So there's bound to be beer, right? There's bound to be, he's going to be Jim. He's going to be larger than life. He's going to have all the jewelry and he's going to look cool. I don't look cool. You know what I mean? Like Jim does.
I'm going to look like his little Boy Friday.
Yeah. You're going to have to make sure you don't look like Gilligan compared to him. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So anyway, but the fact is when I wanted to do this, I'm like, I don't even know there's any reason I should go.
Yeah.
If we can get Jim to go.
Yeah.
But then Joy's like, no, you and Chris both have to go. And she's right. You guys both have to go because people watch us and they want to meet us or whatever. So yeah, but Jim's going to be there and it's going to be pretty cool. Jose says, can you buy stuff at that show like civilians not? So yeah, as a matter of fact, you absolutely can buy stuff at the show that we're doing. Whether or not you can at the NAMM show is another thing altogether. I don't know if you can.
But I think people do. But it's not really, I mean, it's a trade show. NAMM is a trade show.
Yeah.
That's a very different experience. For one thing, NAMM is all industry people. You're not supposed to be able to get in if you're not connected with the industry somehow. We all know that that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
There's ways to get in, but the overall arc of it is industry only. And this one is industry and
it's open to the public.
Yeah. So
do you think Michelangelo Battio will be there?
Man, I hope.
One can only hope.
Yeah.
Bob says that I have a cool hat though. Thank you, Bob. Karma Bodies Guitars says, I had booths at a number of NAMM summer shows, and one that I went to in Anaheim without a booth was the most successful and fun. I walked around the floor with 2 Asian model type girls I knew. Well, that goes a long way. We did a bunch of NAMM shows. We exhibited at some stuff and NAMM shows.
Summer NAMM in Nashville. We went to the Ohio one twice. Ohio. Anaheim.
Yeah, we went to Anaheim. Gosh, a lot of times.
We went to the Ohio NAMM show. There's nothing going on.
There's hardly anybody there.
Did it twice. No, Anaheim. And just walked around and talked to people that we knew and saw people and had a meet and greet that was wildly successful.
Very fun. Yeah.
But I don't want to say that nothing good came of the Nashville one, because good stuff happened, but it wasn't like turning on a light switch or anything like that. So,
Jose says you can't buy it, Nam. That's one of the things that makes it not interesting for me. And Shark Air says he's bought a ton of stuff in it. So, I know for a fact that some people sell stuff like OD guitars. I know he sells guitars at the NAMM show.
That's probably true.
I don't think you can go up to Gibson and buy a can I get a deal on a Flying V?
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that. I think it depends on where you are and maybe what you're doing and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Fine. Jason B says he's in Westminster, California, like 10 minutes from Anaheim. Well, Jason B, I hope that we see you there, sir. Joseph Caswell says he thought Manowar was on tour, so Michelangelo Patio might not be there. He says, what's up, TTG and everyone? I know a great taco spot near me in Southern Cali. If you guys are down to meet up, my treat. Oh, well, now that changes everything, doesn't it?
What was the name of the taco place you found today?
Cholos. JD says some very nice things about us, and I like JD a lot. He's a cool dude, and he's always has good things to say. Thank you so much, JD. And he also says that NAMM is like petting a dog you know is going to bite you. Well, you probably get sick. You probably get anthrax, right? Yeah, just brace for the G's, dude, because it's going to happen.
I always think that's more airplane than experience.
Well, frankly, it's all not fun. And I was gonna drive. You should, and a mask, like the guys
I'll be that guy.
You'll be Mr. What's his name from?
I'm just gonna wear a chin diaper though.
I was gonna drive, and it might make sense for me to not drive because what'll happen. I'll get sick and then I'll have to drive after I get sick. So
that would be
that would be a terrible thing.
2 days. Yeah, because coming back, it's easy getting there. It's harder coming back. That's been my experience with that kind of thing.
Jeffrey says help with distribution should facilitate sales of what you're already making to begin with. I think so too, Jeffrey. So the plan is, let's say we had some dealers.
We're not going to start making coffee tables.
No, but if you have, I think that you guys will probably see more stuff from Texas Toast in 2025 than you have every year combined up to this point, right?
Sure.
No, you've got some really great ideas.
Well, yeah, I'd like to think. Well, I think for one thing, I think if you see it someplace else, you'll feel like there's more of it, even if it's the same exact number. That's going to feel like more.
Yep.
And
I like that dance.
Yeah, it's a good dance and it's a good move. The other part of that is I don't remember.
Well, I think that once you just get that snowball effect going, right?
There can be some of that. Yeah. I think one thing that we can do, and this is something that we're looking forward to, is we can pivot. We can change things up a little bit, and I can't give too much away. Not going to give too much away.
But you're right. I think we've talked about this before. So let's touch on that. Big companies can't pivot, right?
Correct. And if you have your stuff made overseas, it's even harder to pivot.
Yeah.
That's a 6 or 9 month or a year pivot.
Yeah.
We're quick, fast.
It's our one offensive capability that we have is that we can start. Yeah. Oh, well, I think that's a great thing, Chris. I'm glad that you brought that up.
That is a real thing in some American manufacturers actually kind of rely on that.
Okay.
And we are an American manufacturer and we can pivot because Matt goes, "Hey Chris, what do you think of this idea?" Yeah, that's a great one.
And we just start doing it.
Move. Yeah. There you go. Yeah,
the only other guys who have done that I know, and I'm sure there's lots of guys who do this, but the guys who copy us doing that is the Fender Custom Shop. They see what people like us are doing.
Yeah.
And then they do it.
Well, yeah.
I know for a fact that has happened.
Yeah.
I've seen. I tell you, as soon as I saw the Fender Custom Shop half fretted P bass, I'm like, okay, all the other stuff was just a coincidence, but this is not a
Carlos was working there then. That could have been one of his deals. I mean, there you go. Yeah.
I think that we are going to give Carlos his whatever his semi hollow body thing a real run for its money this year. So anyway,
yeah.
Tiki Trash says, hold on. He says that hopefully Zach Wild will be at the Woodwire.
So I can finally kick him in the nuts.
That's right. Yeah,
man, that guy's a Viking.
I don't think you'd want to kick him in the nuts.
No, I'll just wave to him from across the room.
I bet you he'd be really cool, and
he would be very cool, and I think he would enjoy the story.
I think he would crack up if we were like, I don't even remember what the. Yeah, I don't even remember what the whole
because the whole deal was we did a video.
This was
the top 10 ugliest guitars.
Oh, that's it, like 8 years ago.
Yeah, the Zach Wild guitars, and so it just sort of started there. And then every time we talked about going someplace with famous musicians, Zach Wild was going to be there, and I was going to kick him.
Well, and it's funny too. Like who's like the biggest, meanest looking guy you can imagine? It's probably Zach Wild.
Yeah. I'd have to jump. I'd probably have to jump off a ladder.
Yeah.
Just sort of.
Yep.
Maybe clip him on the way down.
Ray asked some questions about like how many guitars are actually made in America, and
a lot,
and
not as many as used to be.
Yeah, and then he says you'll need millions of dollars in equipment to scale your volume. Ray,
we're not talking about.
We might not need as much as you think.
Yeah, we're not talking about doubling our production.
Would a $500,000 Haas CNC machine be enough to get you started, you think? Because anyway,
we know how to make guitars. We can make guitars. The trick is,
and we actually do,
and we do, lots and lots and lots every year. The trick is consistently being able to move those guitars forward and move those guitars on, and not end up with a wall full of stuff that you need to sell for $900.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't take a lot. Hey Matt, would you like to sell one more guitar a week?
I absolutely would, Chris.
There you go. That's all we need to do.
Yep.
So
Loring says, how many spots left for the Fender class? Loring, I think there's a couple, 3 spots left for that Fender class in February, that one. And by the way, if I don't see you when we're out in California, I'm going to be bummed out. Although I don't know where you are in relation to Anaheim, but I know you're in California, right? Do you know, Chris?
I bet you he's more towards San Diego.
Okay.
San Diego am I saying that right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? He could get in one of his many 13 window vans and drive up, and he could like have a whole thing.
Yeah. And then he could take us around.
We could ride in style. Yeah.
For once.
Well, Loring, if you're in the neighborhood, let's hook up. And we've got spots in that Fender class in February. That would be a fun one, by the way. So anyway, Chris, what else were we supposed to talk about today? So, okay, how about this? We're not out of ideas.
No, we're just out of ideas that we want to do a lot with.
However, some people have asked me to do a video on straightening those planks. And I've started it, and I think that will be Sunday's video.
Okay.
So, but that's a video that we've never done before. And now, straightening planks. I don't know if any of you guys were watching I don't even know when I released the video. I think it was last Sunday.
Yeah, it was the
book matching video.
Yeah. Don't book match like a bitch, I think.
Don't be a jerk. And I showed you guys some a drop top that was the wood was positively beautiful, but it was going all catty.
Any less, it wouldn't have been worth trying anything.
Yeah, it'd have been firewood. And so I think that I'm going to show you guys how to flatten that stuff out, and I think you'll really dig it. And that will be this Sunday's video. Also, there will be a video for Patreon and YouTube members. That will be video number 1 of the neck through workshop, kind of online training, Patreon training. People have been asking, hey, where do I see these videos? I can't find them. You can't find them because they're not up there yet, but they will be soon. And then there's going to be 2 of those, and then there will be a live Q&A that only Patreon members and YouTube members will get an invitation to view. Okay.
Okay.
So we're not out of ideas, and we've got a lot of great ideas for stuff coming up. We've got shows coming up.
A lot of stuff, yeah, that we'll be able to talk about in the next few weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what about 2025,
really
Chris?
stuff.
Do you feel positive, or do you feel
always?
Do you feel like we got any good ideas, or are we out of ideas?
No, I think we have lots of ideas, and we have some changes. Some inline changes that have happened that are pretty neat, nifty and cool, and people will dig them. And yeah, lots of good classes coming up. We need to buckle down and figure out what the schedule is and get that out so everybody can make arrangements to come out and do a workshop.
That's right, because there will be a bunch more of the essential guitar building workshops in 2025, and none of them are on the schedule right now.
Yeah, those and bunch of really fun classes.
Bob,
lots of fun stuff to do.
Bob says, thanks for the update on his level 4. How's my icon coming? Bob, I'm looking at your icon right there. As you guys know, the icons are all handmade. And so are the level 4s. So yeah, I got the necks shaped. There's a couple of them over there, and one of them is Bob's.
Yep.
And they look like $1 gazillion.
The bad thing about us, 2 guys in the shop, is 2 guys in the shop. Yeah. And sometimes things take longer than you would hope.
Yeah. Shark Air says, are we flying or driving? I was going to drive, but now I'm going to fly. JD says he still wants to see the old bowling lane top challenger. I think that would be hilarious.
Man, there was a bowling alley that closed near your house.
I know.
Many years ago while we were doing this, and they were selling the lanes.
Yep.
And by the time I figured it out, they were all gone.
Butch wants to know, is there a guitar build contest in August? Butch, there will be a guitar build contest this year. It will not be in August.
Okay.
It's probably going to be either July or September.
And then it's going to be September, if I have anything to say about it. Yeah.
It
needs to be later. There's way too much stuff that happens in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Not even on purpose, just by accident.
Let's go for September.
Yeah.
Joey Dano says, waiting for Dangerous to talk me into coming out there this year. Well, Doug, let's see if we can.
And Dave, what the hell?
Dave's coming out.
He is.
I can't remember for what. I think it's one of the semi-hollow ones or something. I can't remember which one, but yeah.
He's built everything else. He has to come for that one.
Yep.
We're gonna have to start doing like ukulele classes. So some of these guys that have been here a million times can build something.
Ukulele.
New. I don't have a ukulele.
JD says the inlays would be little pearl bowling pins. Dan, we are actually getting an Airbnb in somewhere in California, I think. So I think if that was
they have those there.
I think they do. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. Joy knows what.
We're just gonna live on the street.
God, I hope. Well, we can't live in my car. That's for sure.
Yeah. We could get some awnings though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, anyway, gang, I've had a good time hanging out with you guys in 2024. I'm looking forward to 2025 being another great year for us. It's stressful being a guitar builder sometimes, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think from Halloween to New Year's is just a stressful time. There's too much outside interference going on. And once January 1st hits, it's like the big reset.
Okay.
And I go, I can breathe again, finally.
Before we wrap it up, I want to take one last super chat, unless you guys send more, from Ray, who says, I'm your new idea guy. Well, Ray, we can interview you for the position. He says, I have so many off-the-wall ideas. Okay, Ray, I want this. I'm being serious here. Send me ideas. But what I mean by send me ideas is not, you should do a video on a guitar that looks like a penis. I'm not doing that. And I know that's not what you said, but don't send me something specific, not something vague and nebulous. No amorphous. I need I need something concrete.
And a new ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw a guy do a video like this,
Yeah.
but he didn't do it very well.
Yeah.
It's probably our video. And yeah.
Okay. So like, for example, Lefty O has a great idea for a terrible video. And it's yeah. Lefty, God love you. I know I do. Okay, guys, I will see you sometime this weekend if you're a Patreon member, and definitely on Sunday if you are just tuning in to our regularly scheduled video. I want you to go over and check out Dylan and his lovely wife Leslie over at his page. Yep. They are going to be hanging out with you guys for probably a couple hours tonight, talking about Lord only knows what. And
no reveal tomorrow.
That's right. We have nothing to reveal tomorrow. No. I don't even know what day it is. So
we could, but we don't.
Yeah.
We're not gonna.
Yeah. Okay. No. Brian's talking about his new penis tattoo that looks like a guitar, I think. So anyway, all right, guys, we will talk to you all soon, and have a great night.